Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley. I'm an exercise physiologist and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to detox your body. So this word detox has been around all over the place lately, and it's usually tied to the purchasing of different supplements and powders and juice cleanses, but I'm going to let you know today how to detox your body without really purchasing anything other than what you may already have in your house. Or maybe not, but we'll find out, right? Okay, so detox really means that we want to get all the things in our body from the foods that we eat and things that we take in from our environment. We want to get those bad things, the negative things that may build up in our system. We want to get it out of our body. What can that be, right? It could be chemicals, could be a buildup of too much sugar, too much salt, maybe too much of a certain mineral or vitamin. And really the goal is to create homeostasis in the body. So that's what we're looking to do with this detoxification process. How do you know that you need to detox your body? Well, a couple things. If you feel puffy, bloated, tired and lacking energy, if you have skin eruptions happening, if you're bloated and your clothes are not fitting as well anymore, it may be a good time for you to start thinking about detoxing or just eliminating some things out of your life and maybe bringing some other things into your life. So just some quick tips when you're feeling puffy, and sometimes it's really out of our control if that's the way we are. Sometimes, certain times of the month, maybe a little worse for women, or if people have certain conditions, they could retain water more easily. But in general, to get rid of puffiness, you want to drink adequate amounts of water and make sure that you are sweating probably on a daily basis, that you are exercising on most days and really producing sweat and then replenishing with pure water and maybe some electrolytes. So that's really going to help with that flow of water balance in your body. And we also want to support the kidneys and have them do their function. So a lot of the supplements will be promoting the kidneys, the liver, and those type of things. But really all you need to do is stay hydrated and eat a diet high in antioxidants. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Okay, the other thing I mentioned was being bloated. Okay, puffiness and bloating can be a little bit different because bloating happens in the gut, really in the stomach. So if your clothes are fitting really tightly and you're thinking about buying a higher size in your clothes, try maybe to do a detox first and see if it's something that you can get rid of just by changing your diet. You want to eliminate inflammatory foods such as fried foods, any kind of packaged food, including ones that are labeled organic, such as crackers and cereals and different things that create systemic inflammation. And if you're interested in learning more about inflammation, you can watch my previous video on that. Okay. Also, some people can be gluten intolerant or dairy intolerant or maybe allergic to eggs. So it might be a good idea to get an allergy test done to know if the reason why you're bloating is because you're allergic to something that you're taking in continuously. Okay. Dairy is a big one, but definitely look into that. And then if you're tired and you're lacking energy, you want to prioritize sleep. It's not like a big secret or surprise, right? Try to go to bed earlier. So if you are in this routine of going to bed really late, why are you going to bed so late? Are there things that you have to do at that time? So the best sleep we're going to get is before 12. So really like from 9 to 12. So if you're going to bed at 1, you're really not getting the quality sleep that you could be getting if you were going to bed earlier. And this has to do with circadian rhythms. Okay, so try to make sleep a priority. Try to get at least 7 to 8 hours every single night and try to create like a schedule for yourself where your sleep is a priority and you're gonna get enough. That's really gonna help, obviously, with being tired. And then you may need less coffee in the morning, which coffee can tax the adrenal glands, especially if you're having more than maybe 2 or 3 cups of coffee. And then, people usually will drink coffee with a lot of sugar and milk as well. So it can really be a toxic beverage if it's overconsumed, and also if there's a lot of additives in there. Okay, so those 3 things, and I'll write it down below. You want to focus on simple things you can do, and it's really just creating a plan and making it a priority. Okay, so the body wants to heal itself. So we can't just do these things 1 or 2 times. We have to be consistent with these behaviors. And then over time, you will see the results you are looking for, whether it's a drop in blood pressure, or whether it is just, having those clothes fit you again. Maybe it's, getting rid of having headaches every single day, or maybe it's just feeling less aggravated in your life. Okay. So you have to be consistent, and it has to be done the majority of the time. Does this mean that we cannot have sugar again, or have coffee, or have things that are stimulating or depressing to our system? No, but maybe once you eliminate those things, you may not crave those addictive components anymore. So that may be one thing that happens. And then another thing that can happen is really, you want to rearrange your life so that it is the most conducive to your goals. So even if you do crave those things, there's plenty of things that we crave that are unhealthy for us. It could be, that I want to jump off of a building and just, do that like squirrel flying thing that people do, and it looks so amazing on YouTube, but that's very dangerous and it's taking a big risk. And so I'm probably not going to do that, although I want to do it. Okay. Taking risks can take us down a whole different path, but I just want you to get the idea that there's a ton of things that you may want to do that you don't have to do. And it's just creating new habits so that that's what you generally and naturally are inclined to do. Okay. And it's going to create those health benefits. All right. So some tips, and I've talked about these things probably in other videos, but I thought it was a really great time to talk about it now. Why? Because the holidays are coming up. We have Halloween coming, which I don't really celebrate Halloween, but that's kind of like the lead off to all these bad foods and kind of like splurging events happening. So we have the candy and Halloween and the different treats. Then Thanksgiving comes, and then, we just throw everything, all caution to the wind there for most people. And then Christmas, that whole month really of December, and Hanukkah and different things. We're just inclined to have little by little, just, accepting the donut at work, or having a piece of cake, or having a couple pieces of candy. And while that may not necessarily be totally bad, if you are trying to lose weight and if you are dealing with inflammation and you know that you need to detox, this is really going to derail you. This is really going to set back your goals. And then once January comes around, what people tend to do is just hit the gym maybe for a month or so, if that, or maybe start going for walks, but they don't remain consistent because they don't feel good enough to do it. And a lot of times when we're used to incorporating the really bad foods, it's a mindset change that needs to happen, because when January rolls around, people are still craving the sugar. They're still craving the amount of food that we're eating, because a lot of times we eat more, and it's like coming off a vacation. It's the same thing off of a vacation. You have to be able to moderate the amount of food and the quality of foods so that it can be consistent throughout your whole entire life. So if you can have a little fun-sized Snickers or something small and it not become a habit, that's really up to you and your level of self-control. But I challenge you to really analyze yourself, your goals, and you can do it. You really can do it. Whatever place you are at in your life right now, you can take these small steps to get to the place you want to be. Are we going to be perfect? No. But can we be better? Absolutely. Can we feel better? Absolutely. Okay, so as I had mentioned, you don't need to buy the detoxes, okay? All you need to do is focus on consuming foods that are rich in antioxidants. What are antioxidants? So polyphenols they're an antioxidant. Carotenoids are an antioxidant. These are basically the colors in the foods the fruits and the vegetables that we have on this earth. So When you eat those foods, they fight off free radicals in the body. And free radicals are part of the inflammatory process, but they damage cells. We want to have happy, healthy cells. And so diet is one component of that. Stress is another, okay? But we want to make sure that we're getting enough antioxidants so the free radicals are kept at bay. Vitamin C, you want to have a lot of vitamin C. Someone's calling me, sorry. You want to have vitamin E naturally. You don't necessarily have to take supplements. You can have, different nuts, almonds, walnuts, things like that, as long as you are having them in minimal amounts. We don't need to be shoving our faces with almonds. Have like a handful of almonds and then shove your face with salad or broccoli or something that's a lower calorie dense, so you can get all those nutrients. You won't be as hungry because your body will feel full, it will feel taken care of, it will feel like it's thriving. And then we can kind of, have a little bit more of the calorie dense foods, which are the nuts and things that have fat, basically, in moderation. Okay, so one of the most important things, and I know you've probably heard about this recently, is the seed oils. So seed oils can be canola, could be sunflower, it could be, just these highly refined oils that are in most foods. So if you go to Chipotle, which I love, if you go to pretty much any restaurant, they're going to be cooking their foods in oil. So what happens when foods are cooked in oil? The oil changes its structure, so it becomes something totally different, and it can be very toxic to the body. Okay, so you want to make sure that when you're at home, try not to use oils, try to use water and spices and different things to flavor your food. And then you'll notice that it's a little bit of a difference. The food's not going to feel like it has as much body to it because of the oil, but it's really a lot nicer, and you'll feel so much better afterwards. You won't feel heavy, your skin will look better. And then if you want, you can add oil afterwards. So you can add a little bit of or avocado oil, or like a less refined oil, but you want to try to stay away from, especially canola, cottonseed, those type of oils, very cheap oils, soybean oil. If you're eating out a lot, you're continually having these oils in your system, can be very, very toxic. And so that also leads into fried foods. I heard recently a doctor talking about fried foods, and he said that he would rather you smoke a cigarette than eat fried foods. And he's not saying you should smoke a cigarette, but he's saying that the effect that it has on the body, it takes 3 days for the inflammation to go down after you eat something fried. So next time you try or think about trying French fries or having something fried at dinner or lunch or whatever, think about that. 3 days of inflammation. And if you're having maybe fried foods every 3 days, then your body could be in this chronic low-grade inflammatory state, and it never has a break. And this is where our people are getting the problems from, is because the body is not getting a break from, just being saturated with, bad stuff that's causing disease. Okay. All right, so another thing you might want to think about is how you cook your food. So we don't want to be cooking at really high temperatures, and I am definitely guilty of that because I like to just get it done quickly. I don't use microwaves, but when you're sauteing, you want to make sure that you are sauteing and cooking your foods on a low heat, and you want to cook your vegetables until they're just done. You don't want to overdo them. So you can, the preferred way is to lightly steam them. So you put it in your pot with water and you boil it very slowly, steam it for maybe 5-10 minutes just till it gets just soft. And then that's the best way. You can put a little salt and pepper on it, maybe a little bit of oil if that's what you need to have. But that is going to be where your body is going to retain the most nutrients. And sometimes when you steam foods, it actually unlocks the nutrients. So we don't need to be consuming everything raw. Raw foods do have their place, but you want to make sure that you are getting enough fruits and vegetables per day. And as I've talked about, 5 fruits, 5 vegetables per day at least, and start there. But you can really have as much as you want, okay? So minimize your fat intake. We talked about that. Even healthy fats. Try to focus on low calorie dense foods so that you can detox your body, okay? Skip the processed fried and refined foods, alcohol obviously, and skip desserts, okay? So alcohol is very inflammatory. and it's also very addictive, and it's also very normalized in our society. So it's a tough one, but try to eliminate it as best as you can, and you can definitely do it. Okay. Another tip to remain successful when you're trying to detox your body is to prepare on the go food. So if you are prepared, you're going to be successful. Okay. What can that be? Simple: apple, banana. You can pack some grapes, any kind of like handheld, like just easy to eat foods. You can pack a clean protein bar, maybe a clean protein powder, whatever is going to keep you from making bad decisions when you're out, or going into those fast food lines, or making excuses like I didn't have time, or I was hungry, or whatever it is. If you prepare, you're going to be successful. And so really, in regards to that, the root of why we choose the bad foods has to do with our emotions. Whether we are stressed or worrying, or we're feeling rushed, or we're in traffic, or maybe we're happy and we want to celebrate. So our emotions are really the root. So when you're going to grab for that thing you really shouldn't have, and not only will it make us gain weight, it will also bring, just toxicity into our lives and ill health in our internal environment. Okay, so think about that, when you are making these decisions, and try to calm your emotions, regulate your emotions. Sometimes we get on these really high highs and we're super happy, and maybe life's been stressful, and we're just so happy to feel like we're not stressed in that moment, and we just, again, throw all caution to the wind and say, well, I'm gonna have that burger now, and I'm gonna have that drink, and I'm just gonna go all for it because I'm having a great time and haven't felt this good in a long time. But then later we may suffer with the consequences. If this is done every once in a while, maybe occasionally, maybe, which means like every 3 months or every year or something, it's not going to be a big deal. But if this is happening all too often, it really can cause those negative side effects that people are taking medication for, and that people are suffering with, and we don't want to suffer as much as possible. So we need to be prepared. And then lastly with this, you want to get a blood test. So just get your blood taken to know which nutrients you might be lacking, and then you can supplement with foods rich in those nutrients. Okay, so on to some encouragement. You are not other people's expectation of you. Okay, you can really just ponder that, like we have these expectations living in America, living, in this day and age. And you are not, because everyone sees you in a different way, right? So if you try to keep up with that, you're going to be chasing the carrot for a really long time. Okay, you have to try to be the best you can at every stage of your life, and just be grateful for everything you've been through, and the accomplishments that you have done in your life. Focus on the good things, and then make the best of whatever situation you are in. And it's a continual battle, and I mess up all the time. I have these moments where I even question, I talk to you guys about all these spiritual things, and I question my faith, and I question what diet I should be eating, and all these type of things. Okay, but we have these moments in life. We have good times and we have hard times, but you'll know in your soul, like in who you really are, and you'll have peace in knowing, okay, I'm on the right track, and this is what I need to be doing. So when we get those doubts and we get those fears, and we are not sure where we're going in life, you have to remember those moments where you've had that, revelation or peace that, eating fruits and vegetables and healthy whole foods is the best way for me, even though I may be feeling stressed in this moment, or I'm sad because what I expected to happen didn't happen, or I had bad feedback at work, God forbid, or whatever it is. I'm not gonna use that as an excuse to damage my health. Putting it into perspective, like, we are not our jobs, we are not who people think we are. We are who God says we are, and that's something that is continually changing because we are going through this life. you know, but give yourself a little bit of grace and release kind of like the expectations there. I think that would be helpful. And then also try to detox yourself from those toxic thoughts. So not only just food, you want to replace the toxic thoughts with healthy actions. So whenever I'm down or depressed, or I'm feeling like, you know, I don't know what's going on in my life, and, you know, I've been feeling a little bit of that lately, I just replace it with exercise, to be honest with you, or, you know, getting myself a juice or smoothie or something healthy and nourishing myself, you know, so that I can, you know, subconsciously know that everything is going to be okay. You know, the book isn't, for my personal life, it's not completely written yet. And for you, it's not completely written yet if you're watching this. You know, there's much more ahead of you, and you can't get caught up in these disappointments. And even if they're really huge disappointments, maybe you're hoping for something that never happened or hasn't happened yet, and you start to get in your own mind. So those toxic thoughts need to be replaced with actions. And then you're gonna, especially with exercise, you will have more perseverance to wait for these things to happen, or just to wait for the next best thing to happen in your life. Okay, so try to think about detoxing your mind as well. All right, so I'm gonna end with a Bible verse. For I will restore health to you and heal you of your wounds. And this is in Jeremiah 30:17. So God has made promises all throughout his word that he will heal us, he'll restore us. But we have to put in the work. You know, I've said before, if you want God to heal you and you're praying for a miracle, but, you know, maybe you're eating, and this isn't to shame anybody, maybe they're eating really badly, maybe they're eating something they think is healthy, but is really not. You know, eating out in general is really not healthy, okay, because of the type of oils and things and how much sodium they put in food. But we have to kind of do our part and do the work too. So we pray and ask God, do our research, get our blood work done, and then really be diligent about the steps we're taking in order to get to that healthy, whole person that is able to go through this life and experience all that God has for us to experience, and really enjoy it and experience it and be present in that. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what's been on my heart lately. Sorry I got that call there, but you know, something that I really can't prevent when I use my phone for videos. So I hope this message encouraged you. I hope that you feel like you have a little more direction in your health and fitness journey. If you have any questions, please message me, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. You can share this video and like it. And please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. I also have links in the description if you want to contribute financially to my channel. It helps a lot. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.